Trinidad. Welcome to Brunch, where we talk about all things Trinidad and Tobago. We have some fun, we drink some wine for Book Club Corner. I just so happy to be here with you. And I know many of you will see the brunch come up and say, wait, what? What you all doing on brunch? I just want to say, Janelle, we're gonna miss you today. Janelle, nobody sent me. You know how we in the Caribbean the sea. Nobody give me no message, but I just letting you know, Janelle won't be here today. I'm taking over today. There's a brunch takeover today, right? But Janelle, without sharing your business, you're gonna come and explain, what's happening with you when you come back. But Janelle won't be here today. Situation beyond our control and hers, and we sending you all the good vibes, all the happiness, all the Wednesday magic we can. Right? And welcome viewers across Trinidad and Tobago to the Brunch Show. I just want to say it's a lovely Wednesday here in Tobago. We're in beautiful Scarborough, right in the Port Mall, and we have brunch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where we talked to local persons, nutritionists, we talk to artists, we talk to all sorts of people, and we're glad that you're here with us. This is a season, a ticklish kind of season, right after, Carnival, and this happens every Carnival, Tobago Carnival, Trinidad Carnival, whatever. You usually have people getting sick, catching the flu, all of that. So just gonna say, take care of yourself, guys. Please be careful out there. Just because COVID is finished, the hand washing still continues. I'm just going to put that out there, right? Whoever the hat fit, wear it. And if this is for you, please take it up. Wash your hands, still walk with your sanitizer. Take care of your health by making sure that you're as clean as possible. And if you're feeling to wear a mask because you feel you're coming down with something before you go into the public space and share your germs, right? Please just check yourself, right? We know it's a ticklish time when people get ill a lot of times, right? So I want to just tell everybody, thank you for being here. Y'all, I'm just here for the day. Don't cry. Janelle will be back soon. I know she misses you all very, very much, and she'll be back with you very, very soon. But until Janelle gets here, we're going to have some good times today. We're going to talk to a lot of people. Let me just tell you what's happening today. Right? So we're going to have the good stuff now, where we talk about what's in the news. And I'm full of technology today. So I'm going to be switching up myself. So we're going to talk about what's in the news today. And the news today has an article, right? For good stuff. We're going to be talking about this Afro-futuristic Ingrid LaFleur teach Black children about tech and science, right? And this American Afrofuturist and cultural advisor, Ingrid LaFleur, has advocated that Black children should be taught about technology. She was speaking during the panel discussion on futures after now held at the Propaganda Space in Belmont, hosted by the mass band Vulgar Fraction with media personality Ardeen Sergio as moderator. So they're talking here about, just teaching tech and making sure that our kids are fully in the game when it comes to technology, not just the iPad and the phone, but tech, probably even anime. And we had Anime Tobago just the other day, getting into science, getting into computer tech and technology and all of that. And we want to make sure our children, our Caribbean kids, right, are into it. We don't want them to be out of the game, right? So that was the good stuff with the futuristic American person. So 25 feet of love. This is a Guardian article. 25 feet of love along the Mount Dore Expression Wall. It's called the Expression Wall. Xavier Lewis of the St. Joseph Boys RC School focusing on his artwork. Right? Okay. I don't know where this wall is exactly, but I know the Mount Door area, and there is really a very long wall. If it is where I think it is, this is going to be beautiful, guys. So when 12 children, their parents, a church, and a neighbor's wall, paint, wire, and many hands come together, the result was love at Mount Door Junction. Literally 25 feet of it along the Eastern Main Road, in a heartwarming display of community, unity, and creative expression. One NGO developing art and design awareness and projects, DADA, with the Mount Door St. Jude RC Church, came together to bring a powerful message of love to the area. This is a big change from the negative image of the historic hotspot nestled among industrial giants like the Caribbery, Whitco, SBCS, former Unilever, and ice cream factory and sawmill. I know that little area, and it is a ticklish area, right? So those of you that know that area, this is going to be a very welcome introduction of some love, some warmth, community spirit. And I want you all to take note of this article. It's not only for hotspots that you do good stuff, right? It is for any area that needs community spirit. So murals are a very nice idea and concept to introduce to a community. It brings the community together, especially if everybody gets to take a part and take some ownership of that mural. So I would advocate for us to have even more murals in Tobago, right? I would say take a page from their book and probably even think of doing a mural in your community. And next we have on the good stuff, the Daily Express has an article, The Joy of Story Time. Children's homes benefit from sessions. So let's see what those sessions are. Amika House, a safe home for socially displaced girls, recently enjoyed a special storytelling event led by International Game Technology IGT employees. This is the latest in the series of storytelling activities hosted by IGT for the beneficiaries of the technology company After School Advantage program. Rihanna Mohammed from IGT read the local storybook Petra and the Pui, which really sparked the children's imagination, said Marie-Louise Belmar Singh, assistant to the administrator at Amika House. They loved hearing about Petra's journey from Trinidad to Japan and her adventures with the poetry and Japanese cherry blossom. This is so cool. A shout out for all our Tobago students, all our Caribbean people, Trinidad people. If you're in Japan, shout out to you. Shout out to my sister Crystal. Hi. And let me tell you, there are a lot of opportunities, educational opportunities, and for cultural exchange with things like the JET program. So if you're in Japan or you're thinking of getting to Japan, you can check out the Japanese embassy about their programs and get into it. But this is really nice. You know, it's great. And I love that they're reading aloud to the children, right? So I am part of the Tobago Writers Guild, and we love reading aloud. You know, I love books. I love everything to do with books and reading. And reading aloud really has some scientific benefits. So I'm just going to put it out there for you. If you are a reader and you want your children to read, you want people in your household to read aloud to them. You don't have to just read, you know, storybooks. You could read newspapers. I remember as a child, we used to have to read the paper to our mother and father sometimes. So just checking to see if you could, you know, how good you are at reading. But, you know, you could read to elderly persons in your community. You could go sit with them, read to them, communicate with them, share some love and community spirit. Community spirit isn't only shared by murals, right, which are great, but you can go and read aloud to them any book, any piece of literature. So I'm just putting it out there. Christmas is coming. Plan some visits to some elderly persons in your community and carry a book and read to them. So thank you guys for sticking with us so far. That's the good stuff, right? And we're heading to now, who's on today? Because I'm sure you all are wondering, well, if Janelle isn't here, what's happening, right? who is going to be on today. So I'm just going to give you all a little idea of who is going to be on with me today to talk about a few things that you all would be interested in. I know for sure. So we have a nutritionist, a senior dietitian, Carissa Andrews Quashi. All her schoolmates, I know you all are probably cheering her on as she's going to be here with us today for our health corner. And then we're going to be telling you the trivia. So all those who are looking forward to finding out a little more about Tobago, tune in for that trivia question. And then we have Eye on Tobago, where we speak to two teachers from the SDA Primary School. And they're going to be coming to talk about an event they're going to have. And we're going to tell you what that event is. It's quite interesting. They're going to have a lot to explain about that event. So get ready for some information from the North Regional SDA Primary School. The principal and another teacher are going to be here to talk to us today. And then we're heading into my favorite part of the day. It's my favorite part of any Wednesday when I talk to an author. And David Rajpal Singh is going to be here with me today. And we're going to be talking about his book, Chronicles of Kai Erie. I can't wait for you all to talk to David. He is such a phenomenal author. And then after, we are heading into the question answer. We're going to give you that answer for the trivia. And then we're going to be talking to a Christopher Nathan. And he's the CEO of Cocoa Velvet. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Stick with us today. It's really nice to have you all on board. You all please support and cheer me on. I really need your support today. And with that, we're going into a quick break. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Tune in. Tell your friends. You know, Janelle isn't here today, but there's, Jewel who does Book Club Corner. She's holding it down for Janelle today. Janelle will be back. Don't mind, right? So see you all in a few minutes.
Welcome to Standard, and today we're launching High. It's our newest brand that Standard is launching, and it's where luxury meets affordability. We're very proud of this brand. It's taken some time to get the right collection in place, and we're also going to continue to improve on our collection as time goes by and we listen to our customers more. We've changed our suppliers for this collection to European suppliers, so you're going to get that European finish. We've been very pleased by some of the results that we've been seeing in terms and response to it in the market, and we're so glad to bring it to Tobago.
A dietitian is a professional when it comes to nutrition. The title is interchangeable with nutritionist. As a matter of fact, some people are called a dietitian nutritionist.
Right.
So where they join both together. Dietitian is not really an old term, but it is a little bit aged, and nutritionist seems to be the more forthcoming of the century.
Right.
So yeah, some people merge them together, and some people prefer to be called a nutritionist, which I'm one of those people.
Yes, I can see why, because that word diet, even though, you know, I understand the definition of diet means the food that you eat, what you ingest, right? That's just basically it.
Basic.
But the connotation is that you're dieting.
Right. And a lot of people don't think, they think when you say diet, for example, in my work, I call and I speak with moms and I say, okay, mommy, tell me about the child's diet. And the immediate response is, oh, she's not overweight, she's not on a diet.
Yes,
you see what I'm
that's
saying?
Exactly what you're saying.
So it tends to have a negative connotation. And that's not what it is at all. It really is just understanding what you're eating daily. So whatever you eat on a regular basis is your diet.
Exactly. So when they say dietitian, they mean somebody who is specializing in figuring out what a person should be eating,
at that point
a male
in time.
or a female for their age and for their body type too.
Exactly.
Okay.
And also for their hormone type, which is a very new and upcoming field that's very important.
There's so much to talk about.
So much to talk about.
Tell us what WIC is.
WIC, absolutely. So I work for women, infants, and children. That is what WIC represents, WIC. I see children all the way up to the age of 5. So from the time mommy is pregnant all the way up until baby is 5 years old, they remain with us as a client if the client so desires. They do not have to, but it is suggested. We specifically focus on women who are a little bit out of the regular income bracket. So they're low income, maybe not able to access as many, health specialists. They may be seeing, a general practitioner, but not able to, just have access to all the needs. And so in order to create a better tomorrow for our generations, it is important to start that at that moment. The impact of that beginning period of pregnancy all the way until the child is 2 years old is very, very, very important. As a matter of fact, all the way up to the age of 7. But that first set of months there, in the first couple of years of life, is very, very important to what that child accomplishes later on in life. As a matter of fact, there's a study that was recently released last year, late in the year. And it was just talking about the window. They call it a window of time. That window is just very important for mommy to be healthy as she can be. And when we talk about healthy, we're not just talking about her diet. We're talking about emotional, physical, her spiritual health. All of these pieces line up and actually affect that child all the way through the rest of their life. So not just, again, not just what they eat, but it affects them, their emotions, the way they think about life. If mommy experienced a death while she's pregnant and she, really takes that emotion on strongly. If mommy's being abused while she's pregnant, all of these things, sometimes children, you meet them later on in life, they're adults and they're saying, I don't know what's wrong with me. It's what mommy experienced while she was pregnant that is now affecting you at age 45.
There's so much to unpack there. Let me tell you, my brain is all over the place with this. So first of all, where is WIC?
Okay, so WIC is in the United States. I am a Tobagonian. I presently live abroad. I presently serve in the state of New Jersey. And so WIC is in every state of the United States of America, and serves many different populations depending on where they're located. So I'm in the city of Newark, and we serve over 4,500 clients come through my office every month. They have to see a dietitian every 3 months in order to get their benefits. So this program that I work with also comes with food benefits, again, because these are underserved moms, right? So we want to make sure that they're getting everything that they need, not just nutrition, education, but also getting, milk, if they need milk.
Mm-hmm.
And then, a variety of fruits and vegetables, anything to make sure that baby has a healthy start in those first 5 years of life.
Guys, well, first of all, let me just say, Carissa is a Tobagonian. Carissa,
Yes.
She from Azerbaijan, she's from about here.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that.
So she's one of we.
Yes.
Right?
Indeed.
So she came home and she's here. She came early and I said, you want what you want to do, you could come back at 10:10.
Yes.
And she said, I'll go downstairs and meet see my parents because they have a business downstairs.
Yes, indeed,
right?
indeed.
So she from out here, she's one away and she's just talking about her experience working with mothers and infants. Let me tell you, I'm not a mother myself. Let me throw that out there. First of all, right? So don't come for me, moms. I am on your side. I'm on your side, right? Don't come for me. All I'm saying is that, we as women, we are a lot of times put on pedestals.
Yes.
Right? A lot of pressure is put on a woman. Further, let's go down mommy's lane. Jesus, Lord have mercy. I don't know how it deal with these people.
It's heavy.
Right?
Yes.
Because when Fayanne was pregnant and she was performing, all it was vexed.
Right.
Go home and
Lord.
what you're doing at the people's age. Pregnancy is not an illness, huh?
Right, it isn't. It really isn't. It's just a stage of life.
Moms are so versatile.
Absolutely.
But what you're talking about is really about, how do we make sure that we have a society of adults that are well-adjusted, don't have any chronic health problems starting from small, and that is by taking care of mommy.
Yes.
We don't want to put mommy in a glass case, right?
No.
For the 9 months, she can't be in a glass case.
No.
They live in the environment.
She has to live, yes.
Right?
And that is a part of it. She has to be social. She needs to, have the availability of being loved. And that is so important during that time for her cup to be full and overflowing.
Yes.
So whoever daddy is, whether it is a stable relationship where the two are in the same home, or it is a relationship where, things may not be as adjusted as you want it to be at that point. It is so important that whoever is in her circle, it is so important for you to pour into mommy at that time. I especially want to talk about my teenage moms, because I see a lot of teenage moms.
Let me tell you.
Yep.
And as a teenager, that's a very unstable time.
It is a very unstable time. Exactly.
So
exactly. So when you throw in pregnancy hormones into all of that, and then usually when it is a teenage pregnancy, that is not present or partially present, right? So we have several pieces that are coming in there. So whoever is in home, daddy, mommy, auntie, sister, whoever you are to that child, that young woman during that time, pour into her. This is not the time to beat up on your wounded soldier. This is not the time to throw her out the house. This is not the time to put extra pressure. Let's get to a doctor. Let's get proper prenatal care done. Let's have her, really start to study and research breastfeeding, what that entails, and just starting to put those pieces together.
Carissa, there's so much to unpack here because you are talking about, we have to go on a break. Guys, I'm going on the break. They're telling me we have to go on break. So I'm going on the break, but I just want to say we're going to come back. When we come back, we're going to be talking about what we currently have as a society. Have we done this to ourselves by not doing what you're talking about all those years ago with those mothers, right? And those young women. And in that, because what we're talking about is fixing tomorrow.
Yes.
Right? That's what we're talking about today. So we're talking about how are we going to make sure our tomorrow doesn't look like today, right? We want an improvement. So we're going to have a quick break, guys. Stick with us. We're going to come back. Carissa, she's a senior dietitian. She's going to be talking about women and children and infants, mothers. Stay tuned.
You know, who would I ever believe, Jessica could take care of a child,
I know, right? I'm a kinship foster parent to my nephew Malik.
Papa, you remind me of my grandmother, you know, when she used to take care of my cousins.
If I didn't step in, I don't know where he would have ended up. Plus, I get support from Children's Authority, training, and counseling.
But Jessica, you not married?
That doesn't matter once you have a safe home and you're related to the child. You're good.
So they just gave money to do this?
Yeah, they do give me some money.
So, Auntie, you can buy a lamb I gave you for me?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Malik, but that money's to take care of you. Okay, smubble up is.
I will not try. Mommy, you can buy
No.
Wait, I didn't even finish my sentence.
About Lamborghini, you could get lamb stew for lunch.
Auntie Jessica could only come when you come in, because all them does do is talk people business.
Malakay, I'm going to go in on the bed.
But Mommy, the boy don't even live here.
Yeah, go to your bunkers.
What? Bunkers? Where's that?
I think I'm getting pretty good at this.
Guys, welcome back to Brunch, and we are speaking here with a senior nutritionist. Dietitian is dated, right? We're modernizing,
Everything,
right?
everything.
We're modernizing, and she is a senior dietitian, senior nutritionist at WIC, and she's talking to us about women, mothers, infants. Those are the demographics she works with, the underserved population in terms of moms, right? And what we were talking about before, during the break, you know, this is so important. It's so very important, because we don't, you know, as women, because you're a woman first before you become a mom, as women, we live in a society. We don't leave the society simply because you get pregnant and where you are living may not be a good environment.
Right.
You still have to be there.
Absolutely.
Right? You may be working in an environment that, you know, may not be the best, but how does a mom deal with some of those issues? How does give us some tips. What do you tell moms when they come and say, you know, Carissa, I'm living in the environment I'm in is not the best. You know, I would like to breastfeed, but my dude, giving you side eyes, dude. But my dude doesn't want me to breastfeed because he is saying, tell them what you said. He said.
So I've actually had this happen a couple of times in my office where women are interested in breastfeeding because that's a part of my, my nutrition spiel before baby comes. I want to encourage them to breastfeed. And I've had women sitting in my office saying, yes, I do want to breastfeed. I think it is important, or I didn't know it was this important, but now that you've talked to me about it, I am interested. And dad of baby is sitting here and saying, no, your breasts belong to me. Of course, using other maybe derogatory terms in the process. And that is always very startling to me. Oftentimes I would take that up. There has been once when I've actually asked dad to step outside of the room because I have the right to do that. And I close the door, ask him to sit in the waiting room, and I have a long conversation with mom. My purpose in doing that is looking at the next generation, making sure that that baby has the utmost help, right? So why is daddy so seeing your breast in such a sexualized way that he cannot share that with his child? His child. That is 50% him.
Carissa, she says share. That's not for you.
Well, again, the breast has dual purpose, right?
Yeah, but when she gets pregnant, that is not for you.
That's not for you anymore.
Right? Get your mind. Dads, fathers out there, men, before you become fathers, and dads, you're men. Men out there, we're heading into International Men's Day. Come close to the camera.
Come real close.
Come real close. Let me tell you something, right? If you do not allow these mothers to breastfeed their children, you are guaranteeing that we have as they say in local parlance, we have dotish people.
Yes.
Right? You're dumbing down our society because Carissa's going to tell us the benefits of breastfeeding. Carissa,
Absolutely.
please inform us.
Absolutely.
Inform us about how breastfeeding and that milk is important to developing a child's, not just a psyche, but giving them the best start mentally for their brain development.
Absolutely. So first of all, maybe a lot of people are not aware of this, but your breast milk actually starts developing in the latter months of your pregnancy. And that first milk is actually called colostrum. It's really thick. It's actually a very light gold, yellowish color.
Oh.
We actually call it drops of gold.
Really?
That's the term that we use. Those drops of gold are so important. They're so nutritious for your baby. It's very high in many different minerals and vitamins that baby needs. It is the perfect proportion of carbohydrates and proteins and fats. And many times we don't understand that. We think it's, a lot of people throw it away. If your breast starts secreting before you actually give birth, please collect every single drop. Make sure it's in a sterile container. You can freeze it. You can refrigerate it if it's very close to your delivery time. We do not expect you to keep milk more than 7 days outside of a deep freeze.
Oh.
But if once you're able to freeze it in a sterile container, I tell moms, I said, listen, clear out a section of the freezer that is just for your milk.
How long can you keep frozen breast milk?
Absolutely, up to 6 months is the general idea. Yes, you can keep it up to 6 months once it's not defrosted and frozen again. So you don't want to change temperatures too much. It's also very important to label your milk AM and PM because your milk changes throughout the day. So people are not aware of that, but your milk actually, so in the early part of the morning, baby's milk is very high in carbs. There's a little bit of protein and it's very low in fats. In the middle of the day, it's a little bit lower in the carbs. The protein is at its highest content and the fat is still at the lowest. In the evenings, the fat is at the highest and your carbs and your proteins come all the way down. So what's the reason for that? It's because of what baby's doing throughout the day. So that morning, get up, have their little bath. They usually are a little bit more alert in the morning. Right. They want to do their little kicking. You want to put them down for tummy time when it's the right age and things like that. Baby has a little bit more carbohydrates. That's the energy source for the brain. And so baby's feeding off of that. In the middle of the day, they kind of tend to take a little bit of a nap during the day. That protein in the middle of the day is helping to stretch their bones, helping to develop skin. As the bones are stretching from internally, then the skin is adjusting to make sure that the bones have space to move, right? So that's the growth process. And in the evening, the reason the fat is so high is so that the baby can actually sleep longer. So exactly, the human body is phenomenal. The female is phenomenal.
Guys, if y'all see my eyes buggering out of my, like.
Yes, it is amazing.
You're trying to tell me that the mother's body is creating a balanced diet
all day
for the baby.
For the baby. As a matter of fact, science proves that if you, let's say baby is at a daycare or baby is staying with your mom or whoever, and let's say you just ran errands or maybe you had to go to work. Some moms have to go to work and that's fine. And then you go pick up baby. Baby's body has interacted with somebody throughout the day that has the flu. Baby's body will tell mommy through pheromones, I had somebody around me today who had the flu. This person touched my hands. This person kissed my hands, which we should not kiss baby's hands. Please don't kiss baby's hands. Yes, leave them alone. Touch their little toes if you want, but don't come up to mommy and kiss. Don't do that. That's not a good idea.
Fact, I learned the child is a certain age.
Yes.
Please keep your distance.
Yes.
Do this from far.
Yes.
From far.
Yes.
Leave the picture alone.
Yes.
Don't get them
Absolutely.
sick. Yes.
Absolutely. But here's this interesting thing. When you pick up your baby, let's say you drive about 15, 20 minutes home, do you know that your milk has completely changed its status in those few minutes? So your baby's body would have told you, Mommy, somebody was around me today with the flu. You get in that car, you drive home, your body actually raises itself to a slight fever. You may not even be able to feel it. But the reason for that is so that it can create lymphocytes, which are our white blood cells.
Yes.
White blood cells help to fight. And then that is then this kind of downloaded into the breast, so to speak. Also, the baby's the milk will increase its fat content. And what it will do is that when baby drinks that milk, it will begin to fight the flu for the baby. And the fat content is to put baby to sleep for a longer time so that the body is able to fully recover and fight off any form of disease that came its way. That is how unique our bodies are. That is how wonderfully blessed and created we are. Your breast is able to do that for your child.
Moms, y'all are magic. I always knew my mother was magic, but I didn't know how much. Yeah, because she would see me come through the door and she'd say, "You're not feeling well."
Yeah.
Why this woman always minding my business?
No, they know. They know. Especially a breastfeeding mom. I've had moms, like they've had a child before, and then I interact with them after. And they're saying, "Listen, I've heard about this breastfeeding thing. I completely formula fed before. Now I'd like to breastfeed." I say, "Okay, mom, let's do it. Let's go for it. Full support." As a matter of fact, a part of our office is complete lactation consultants to sit with them, to work through the process if baby's tongue-tied, if baby's not latching well, all of that process. And so we have moms come back and say, "This is so different. I know this baby." Because apart from the breastfeeding process where you're actually releasing nutrition and you're feeding your baby, that emotional contact, those looking in the eyes of your child, studying your child's face. And that child, if you notice when they're breastfeeding, they're all up in your face. They're looking at every crevice of you. Yes. They're holding on to you. They love that. They're in that moment. Oftentimes when I get home and I watch the 6 o'clock or the 6:30 evening news, my husband would tell you, I'll be looking and I'm like, sometimes somebody goes across the screen, they've been arrested, here's the mugshot. And the first thing that comes to my mind is, was this child breastfed?
Yeah.
Because it does make a difference in your emotional stability as you grow older. So that time, that connection with mommy from age 0 to 6 months is important. We encourage it all the way to 24 to 36 months. But at least for that first 6 months of life, the perfect food for your child is breast milk. No cereals, no fruit, none of that extra stuff. The only other thing we will add to that is some water. And that depends also on culture. That's what I've learned by living in the US, that every culture is a little bit different with that. Some people believe that there's enough water in the breast milk. And also your breast milk changes as you feed. So that that's what we call the foremilk is full of water. So a lot of water in it. And then as the longer the baby feeds, then you get into what we call hind milk, which is the really heavy nutritious stuff.
This is you could go to university and study this thing.
Yes, you can.
This breastfeeding thing. And listen, I have a question. Because we're talking about moms and people become mothers in many different ways, right? How do you treat with moms, from your experience, how do you treat with children, I guess, and moms who are probably adopting or taking care of a family, the child in the family, their mom or, their family dynamic has changed.
Absolutely.
And they now have to go live with a relative, even from baby. That person doesn't have breast milk. What do you all advise? How do we
Great question. Great question. We actually have adoptive moms who do get breast milk. Your body will change. It depends on how you connect with that baby. There's actually medication to help as well. So there are people who use medication if they know that the process is coming and they want to intentionally breastfeed that baby to really solidify that connection. There are moms who will actually take medication to prepare their body. So basically what the medication is doing is telling your body that baby is coming, be prepared. So you actually go into the colostrum process and then your milk actually decides to discharge.
That's so important for people to note because, a lot of times in the Caribbean, our adoptions are usually because it's something happening in the family, right? We don't really adopt outside of the family. So, if you are thinking of adoption, don't let it stop you. This conversation about breastfeeding and connecting with your child.
Oh no.
You can form connections any which
Absolutely.
way, right?
Absolutely.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
The best way, the most, important and easy way, obviously, is, you're the actual mother to do the breastfeeding.
Yes.
But if that can't happen, please, guys out there, women out there, you're thinking of adopting, please don't think that you're going to be outside of the loop. You're doing something negative.
Not at all.
Right?
Not
you're
at
really
all.
going to be helping that child if
Absolutely.
you're doing an adoption.
Yes.
Whether or not you're the actual parents. We're talking
actual
about
biological.
people. Yes, we're talking
Yes.
about freezing breast milk, and perhaps you could
Absolutely.
even look at getting breast milk from,
And that is
somebody else.
Yes, and
right?
if there is a relationship, which this is very important, we know through study that if a baby is being adopted, if you can keep an open relationship with the biological mother and the child's biological family, that is very
Right.
important to that child's development.
Yeah.
As much as a child is, so to speak, a clear whiteboard that you can then fill by training and what have you.
Yes.
It is so important to know that there are certain traits that will come out of this child that comes from their biological structure.
That you may not know anything about.
Exactly.
If you're not
And you will
if you're
never
not
understand it until you stay connected to that birth mother. So if birth mom, which
Yeah.
we do have this a lot, if birth mom can supply the milk by pumping, so we encourage moms to pump. If you cannot bring baby directly to the breast, we want you to definitely go ahead and pump.
Yeah.
Pump that milk and store that milk and bring it to that baby because it is so important.
Carissa, I don't know if it's because I love to talk, but we need more time.
I know.
we need more time. The thing she's talking about is so important.
Yes,
Yeah, we're
yes.
wrapping up, guys. We're here with Carissa, and she is the senior nutritionist at WIC, and she is a Tobago girl, right?
Yes.
She's one away.
Always.
She's from about here, Trinidad and
Yes.
Tobago, right? She's about here.
Yes,
And she's
ma'am.
talking to us about some seriously important aspects of womanhood, motherhood, childbearing. Women, mothers, y'all are magical.
Yes,
Don't forget,
yes.
dads are important. We're heading into International Men's Day. Men, y'all are extremely important.
Yes.
Granny, grandpa, everybody involved in the process. This childbearing thing is a community
It really
effort.
is. Takes
We're
a
hearing
village.
that.
Takes
We're
a
hearing that.
village.
Mom can't do it all by herself. It's a community effort. Mom needs support. Baby needs support from inception.
Yes.
Once we're going that way, right? So just putting it out there. We have a trivia question coming up, and we don't want you all to miss out on getting the answer right. And then we're heading on to our other segments. Thank you for being here with us. And thank you, Carissa. This was so
Absolutely.
informative.
I'm happy to
I
hear
can't
that.
believe it. Jay, you have an amazing job. I can't wait for you to come back. And, and don't forget the trivia. What's the trivia, guys? Help us out here. What is the trivia for today? Tobago trivia question is, what is the name of the first man to swim from Tobago to Trinidad? Again, the question is, what is the name of the first man to swim from Tobago to Trinidad? I think we're giving away some information here. It should have been the first person because you already tell them it's a man.
Yeah.
Right? They're already ahead of the game. Yeah, this question is giving away stuff, man. So check it out. I have some answers for y'all a little later, but that's an important thing too, right? That ferrying and getting between Trinidad and Tobago. But Carissa, again, thank you for being here with us. I hope we see each other again soon.
Let's do it.
Of course. And next we're heading to speak to the SDA, primary SDA school with the principal and the teacher. So stay tuned.
Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
The Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development has relocated its Crown Point office to Glen Road in Scarborough to better serve you, our clients. Our main office is located at the corner of Glen Road and Glen Road Branch number 1, the building formerly occupied by Costa. Our grant and electrical inspectorate services can be accessed at number 2 Montessori Drive in Glen Road, building 1 and 2.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
You know, who would I ever believe, Jessica could take care of a child,
I know, right? I'm a kinship foster parent to my nephew Malik.
Papa, you remind me of my grandmother, you know, when she used to take care of my cousins.
If I didn't step in, I don't know where he would have ended up. Plus, I get support from Children's Authority, training, and counseling.
But Jessica, you not married?
That doesn't matter once you have a safe home and you're related to the child. You're good.
So they just gave money to do this?
Yeah, they do give me some money.
So, Auntie, you can buy a Lamborghini for me?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Malik, but that money's to take care of you. Okay, smubble up, yes.
I will not try. Mommy, you can buy.
No.
Wait, I didn't even finish my sentence.
About Lamborghini, you could get lamb stew for lunch.
Auntie Jessica could only come when you come in, because all them does do is talk people business.
Malakay, I'm going on the bed.
But mommy, the boy don't even live here.
Yeah, go to your bunkers.
What? Bunkers? Where's that?
I think I'm getting pretty good at this.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash in transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Tobago
Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Wait, I do even have suit and thing for this wedding. Why getting them thing?
Well, the port my right over there.
Alright, thanks.
The Port Mall, where the varieties are large from your favorite stores, from restaurants to salons and from clothing stores to jewelry stores, located at Sanctus Hill, Scarborough, Tobago. Telephone number is 868-334-6589.
Wow. I didn't expect to see you here. Look good.
Thanks. It's all because of you on Port Mall. But here now, I'm going to our wedding. You want to join me?
Yeah, that's okay.
Alright.
Beat the rush and come on down to the Port Mall.
Good morning and welcome back to Brunch on Wednesday. We're here in beautiful Scarborough, Tobago, and we're introducing two amazing persons. I think teachers are amazing, right? They do so much work, and we won't go down that road. How much work you all are expected to do outside of your portfolio. But that's not why they're here, guys. So we have with us Sherma and Shireen, the principal of the SDA Primary School, Northern SDA, right?
North Region.
Exactly. And we have Standard 5 teacher, Miss Shireen. And it's so nice to have you all here with us. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
And they're here to talk to us today about one of the traditions of their schools, right? And they're going to tell us more about it. It's called Ethnic Callaloo.
Yes.
And I thought the name was so original. What is that about?
Well, Ethnic Callaloo is really a celebration of the ethnic groups that would have contributed to the history, the identity of Trinidad and Tobago, specifically Tobago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, our culture is our history. It's our identity. It makes us who we are. And, you know, because it's the past, you have to teach it to generations so that they too will teach it to the generations after them, right? Now, this school is really responsible for, you know, teaching our children things. You know, different parts of society play their part, but the school teaches, you give knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And one of that, I would say, responsibilities to share the history of the country and who they are. But, you know, our children, they're into social media now, and, you know, you really want to share their country with them because they're adopting so many cultures that they're seeing on social media, you know, and you want to keep them grounded so that when they go out there, they can share, you know, where they came from and who they are with others out there as well. So we're using the arts, it's like a concert drama production type of thing. We're using the arts to teach them their history, to get them involved in sharing their history for others as well.
Yes, so celebrating and sharing their history.
Right.
So is there a program in the school, and you can tell me, because you're one of the Standard 5 teachers, right? Is there a program at the Northern Primary SCA School that addresses ethnic heritage, being proud of where you come from and that part of you?
Well, a part of the curriculum, we have social studies.
Right.
And social studies is used to teach about, at different levels, let's say standard 1, standard 3, to be specific, they have to learn about the people who came. So students are exposed to the culture and the history of Tobago, and they are also able to depict, so they will come dressed in the Indian way or the Amerindian way, and, depict the culture.
Okay. So I love that you said that, because for me, well, we just came out of Diwali, right? A lot of roti was shared. That's all I'm going to say about that, right?
Yes.
A lot of diyas, a lot of roti was shared. But for your school, in terms of looking at, do you think that your school is particularly visionary, I would think, in how it is approaching people's ethnic backgrounds and celebrating it? Because you don't have to, the school didn't have to do this, right? Celebrating ethnic culture of each individual and what makes up Trinidad and Tobago. So you think your school is visionary, and where would this have come from? Whose smart idea?
Well, really and truly, coming in as well, sometimes we have staff turnover, right? So we came in and found this program there, right? What we did is that we adopted it and continued it because it's a good program. The origin of it, I may have been with Miss Colleen Hislop, who is the past principal of the school.
Right.
Right. Well, she lives in the area. She lives in Mason or the Sandy River, to be exact. And this is a custom that the school would have started. So I'm assuming that it started with her, right? And the principal before me now would have taken it on as well and continued. And will continuing the tradition, because it's a very good program, I would say. As we said, it helps children to be more creative as well, because you're expressing yourselves in creative ways, singing, music, and all of that, drama. And so we see it as a good opportunity to share the history of the children in a creative way. Because nowadays children are so glued to the screens. They like things to be fun and attractive and exciting. So that is one way to get them excited about their history. Right? So
just putting it out there for those who are interested. This is Ethnic Callaloo. It's happening this Sunday in Mason Hall at the Northern Regional SDA Primary School. And tell us, it's $25 for the tickets. Give us some more information about the tickets, where you could get tickets, how to find you all. If you're, I'm not in Mason Hall, I'm in Scarborough, or I'm down in Crown Point. How do we get tickets to come to this Ethnic Callaloo?
Okay, well, we're located in Belmont Local Road, Mason Hall, Sandy River to be exact, right? Now our school is based, it's downstairs the Sandy River SDA Church. So it's a connection to the church. Now we are under the leadership of the Tobago Conference of SDA, because we are an SDA school, right?
Right.
So you could find us there. Our number is also 639-6911.
Give them that number again.
639-6911.
Very good.
We have, our students are also assisting the selling of the tickets, right? So because they go to different homes and different churches and so on. So we have placed the ads in our church groups, and they have friends and their friends are friends and so on. So we try to sell the tickets through that means, right? So you could always contact us. We have students, family, if you have family members who attend the school or are affiliated with the school, you could always get a ticket. And it is
you bring any tickets, right?
Yes, I brought some tickets.
She brought tickets first, guys. She brought tickets first.
Yes. Yeah, she's a woman of business.
I tell you. Listen, she knows she was coming up here to talk about this Ethnic Callaloo. She said, they can want tickets, I'm bringing, and it's $25. So so people can pass and collect a few tickets
now
if they want,
actual cost of the ticket, right, for the adults, like so 13 and above, we're selling for $50.
Okay.
Right. For those who are 5 to 12, we're selling for $25, but we're not selling tickets, right? For the $25 fee, you pay at the gate. But the adults are the ones buying the ticket. They can also pay at the gate as well.
Right.
So if you don't get a ticket, don't worry. You come and you will pay your money at the gate and you will
Very good. Show my time. What again for this $50?
Pardon?
What am I getting for this $50?
You're getting an experience. You're getting food and drinks, you know.
What kind of food? Am I getting some ethnic food?
Well, yes, we do. We have cassava bread. Well, you know, we have the pulari, the usual pulari, the Indian.
Yes.
You know, we have the pemi. What are some others that we have?
Aloo pie.
Yeah, aloo pie.
Yes.
Local juices. Sorrel.
I just hear pemi. I'm not a fan of pemi people, but my mother, oh my God, she did love her pemi. Jesus Christ. This woman did love her pemi. She just hear pemi, she done perk up. So I know she would have want to be here to come down to this SDA ethnic Callaloo to get some of that pemi, because it sounds like this going to be good.
Yes.
This food gonna be good, finger licking good. Y'all take a little fast before you go down there. Go down there with a little empty stomach, leave some room, because you're gonna get some food, some good food. You hear the cassava bread?
Yes.
Good cassava bread, homemade cassava bread.
Yes.
What else they have there? Any sweet bread?
No, we won't have any sweet bread. We won't have any sweet
Y'all
bread.
have any?
You see, right now we're still sourcing to make sure that we add everything. So we're checking our list to make sure that we have everything that we need to have, right? So we might even add more, even if I don't say it here, but we'll add more to our list of stuff to buy.
I'm gonna put in my 2 cents. I want what about Aki? Are you doing any saltfish?
Saltfish and Aki? No. We'll have to put that one in for the next one.
Yeah, put it in for the next one. But I'm hearing an accent here with Sherma, and we're talking about ethnic Callaloo. So I have to ask, what is that beautiful accent I'm hearing?
So I am originally from St. Lucia. Right? I'm married
Shout out to our St. Lucian brothers and sisters, wherever y'all are. I know we have a good bit in Tobago. I know y'all in Trinidad. Listen, your people here, go down to the SDA Ethnic Callaloo, right? The Northern Regional SDA Primary School Ethnic Callaloo, and come and meet a fellow countryman, right? Pay $50 and shake Sherma hand.
Yes, like a fair. Come and speak some parts for me.
I love
the event will actually be at the Mason Hall Secondary School.
Right.
So it's not at our school.
So it's a
at the
bigger
secondary
space.
School.
Yes.
Definitely.
So we were using the auditorium, and you know, we love our neighbors and our neighbors love us.
Yes.
You know, shout out to the principal, Miss Dimas.
Yes.
She's wonderful. But one thing we want to make sure that, you know, people understand, it's not just about the culture, you know, it's not just about sharing culture, right? Now, since we're SDA based, all our activities that we do are really spiritual. They have a spiritual connection as well.
Yes.
Even when we teach in school, we get the spiritual connection so that the students understand God in everything.
Right.
And so because we are, you know, we are different people, we were all created by this one God that we worship. And, you know, he's our ruler. He's the ruler of everything.
Yes.
So, you know, that's what we want to also portray to them. You know, there is, you know, different people, different religions, different denominations, different beliefs. But, you know, we are all one. It's one country, one people who are all loved by God.
I love that. Y'all listen, we are Trinidad and Tobago, Twin Island Republic, different creeds, races, you know, beliefs. And we see that every day. More and more we appreciate our heritage. Go to this event. It's called Ethnic Callaloo, happening this Sunday, right?
Yes.
And you can get tickets. They're going to leave some tickets here. So if you want, you can come down to Tobago Updates and get your tickets, or you can buy them at the door, right? And the principal is here, Miss Sherma, and the Standard 5 teacher, Miss Shireen, and they're here to talk about that. And when you get down there on this Sunday, you're going to see them, right? So if you're St. Lucian, if you're Jamaican, if you're Bajan, if you're Trinidad and Tobagonian, if you're SDA, whatever your faith, if you have Amerindian heritage, Indian heritage, African heritage, whatever it is, get down there. It's going to be a real Callaloo, right?
And of course, when you talk about Callaloo, you know, Callaloo has dashing bush, okra, flavor pepper, your different seasonings, and of course you have to add coconut milk. So the different classes they are going to be bringing the different flavors. So of course, in Fund 1 and 2, they'll be bringing the Amerindian flavor. Yeah? Standard 1 will be bringing the Spanish flavor.
Yes.
Standard 2, the African flavor. Standard 3, of course, we have the East Indian flavor.
Yes.
Standard 4, they are going to be doing, superstitions that we have.
Oh, I love that. I love a good folklore. And
it's good to
we having an author coming up next talking about folklore, but not to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we have superstitions like don't sweep my feet because I wouldn't get married.
And don't sweep at night. You'll sweep all your money.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
And of course, when your left palm is scratching you, what you getting?
Money. I used to love that. Yeah.
And Standard 5 will be bringing the Chinese flavor. So all of that combined is going to give us a nice pot of callaloo.
We have some good Chinese food lovers out there. I know my husband, he must perk up when he hear that. Oh boy. Chinese. Yeah, it was really nice having you both. This was such a lovely interaction. I hope everybody turns up. I hope this is a bumper crop event for you all, right? Not just for the fundraising part of it, but for what you all are doing. It's very, very important. So congrats to the SDA school. Congrats to you all, Miss Shireen and Principal Sherma. Thank you very much for the effort you all are putting out for our children and for the future of Trinidad and Tobago. We want to thank you. Right?
And of course, can we add all the other teachers that are not regional? Because it's not just about us, right?
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes. We don't ever forget those who are behind the scenes. Correct. It's not only about those who are in front. It's because those behind the scenes do quite a bit of work. We know that. Yes. So thank you again. Teachers out there, if you're listening, we thank you for your beautiful work, for all the, that human service you all are doing. Please, don't stop. Don't let anybody abuse you all, but don't stop, right? We know it's hard work. My mother was a teacher herself. She was a principal of a primary school. Let me tell you, so I went there one day to chill with her. It was no chill. Right? She was up and walking for the whole day checking on his children because his children ain't easy.
Yeah, and we want to pick up hard work as well.
Yeah,
because it's our students who will be bringing the show alive.
They're motivated, they're ready, they're motivated, they're excited.
Y'all wait out of time before they cut me off and turn off my mic. Be like, this girl, oh gosh, she won't stop talking. Okay, so we're going to head out. But before we head out, the trivia question. Did you all pay attention to that? Let's get that trivia question again. This Tobago trivia question. What is the name of the first man to swim from Tobago to Trinidad? I hope all you went in the Googler and type it in, right? Swim Trinidad to Tobago, Tobago to Trinidad. And I hope you all have the answers for us. We'll be back.
Standard, and today we're launching High. It's our newest brand that Standard is launching, and it's where luxury meets affordability. We're very proud of this brand. It's taken some time to get the right collection in place, and we're also going to continue to improve on our collection as time goes by and we listen to our customers more. We've changed our suppliers for this collection to European suppliers, so you're going to get that European finish. We've been very pleased by some of the results that we've been seeing in terms and response to it in the market, and we're so glad to bring it to Tobago and show Tobago what standard could, grow with them as well.
It's not just about looking good or having materials that are easily cleaned or sustainable materials, because the important thing about this particular collection is that it is quality. It is meant to last, and it lives up to the standard name about never beating on quality and price. This furniture particularly, especially our outdoor line, which ranges from fiberglass, plastic types of outdoor stools, outdoor chairs, even the outdoor furniture, it is built to last.
That's the importance with High, right? It's not only looking good, it's going to feature things that make your life easier, and it's not too damaging on the pocket. That's important for us.
This furniture fits the lifestyle of Tobago, of the Tobago customer, of the Tobago guest. It is the perfect type of furniture for you.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level. The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Good morning. Put a smile on your...
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
But this place so boring enough. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yes? Then look no further. Portmore's the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationeries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
In a Health, number 13B Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Trinidad and Tobago, to Brunch, to Book Club Corner. We're so happy you could join us today. And Book Club Corner is where we talk to authors. I speak to authors about their love of the literary arts, about their books, and about the spoken and written word, because we know that without books, we'd be nowhere. Let's be honest. And we have with us today a fantastic author. October was Caribbean Folklore Month, and we'll be getting into the importance of that and this particular author. But with us today is the author of Chronicles of Kairi. He is a martial artist, he's a drummer, and he is the owner, founder, operator, along with his wife, his lovely wife, of Island Girl Tours. Welcome, David.
Thank you for having me here, Jewel.
It's
an honor
lovely
to be
to
here.
have you here with us. And David is a longtime friend. We know each other for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
David is in the Tobago Writers Guild. He's a published author. He has tours. He's an outdoorsman. He is really just doing what we advise and would love to see all our authors do, really promote their books. And we love that about... You all see this beautiful display? I don't know if you're picking it up. David brought the party, right?
Yes.
David brought the party. He and his wife set up this display, so we really love that. David, we want to talk about your book, Chronicles of Kairi.
Right.
We want to talk about, why you decided to become an author and why folklore, right? Because, last month was the Caribbean Folklore Month, right?
October.
And that was so designated by the Caribbean Books Foundation, right? And they had you do a reading at school.
Yeah, at Scarborough Public Library.
Yeah. So tell us about, first, I want you to tell me about your journey as an author. Why did you decide to become an author, a published author? Because many people write books and never publish them.
Right.
What was your impetus?
Me, when I was young and I was going to school in Naprima College, just one day, my English teacher didn't show up for class, and our art teacher subbed, right? She was sick. And he just gave us a little project. He said, listen, write about something in your daily life that occurs that's interesting and make it one page, right? So we were sitting there thinking, well, we don't really do anything but come to school, eat doubles, play football on lunchtime, and then come back to class, right? So I thought about my day, and actually, the most uncomfortable part of my day was the beginning, right? I lived in the south of Trinidad, Faizabad, and I would be picked up by a friend's dad with a very old car, right? And there was no AC, the car was rickety, it was, lots of muffler noises. The driver, my friend's father, was a chain smoker. So he'd be smoking cigarettes one after the other. It'd be blazing hot sun. I'd be in Oropouche traffic, just in that backseat sweating, just waiting to get off this car, And I was like, it's so uncomfortable every day for a while. So I just wrote a story about that experience called The Traffic Jam. and I submitted it, and the next day, Sir brought back the results, and it was 9.5 or something out of 10.
That's fantastic.
And I say, whoa, thank you, sir. That's nice. Why so much? He said, because when I read this story, I felt like sweating.
I like that.
He said, you captured it, right? I said, oh, and that's it. Oddly enough, that incident just subconsciously stayed with me forever and ever and ever.
Really?
But I'm a reader. I love to read. I read everything. Not as much as I want to anymore, but I used to read a lot. And then I just had this big imagination.
Yeah.
And then one day, that whole incident popped back in my mind, and I said, let's just try something, right? And I started to write short stories and all this stuff. Then I realized I have this ridiculously large, vast imagination with all these stories to tell. So just try something, right?
Yes.
So after having a load of short stories, in 2006, I wrote a book called The Plan, right, which was about a big incident that happens in the future. It's like a futuristic piece, but it's not sci-fi, right? And that had some success. I was, amazed by that. And then I just started to write, and I always had these ideas. Then I moved down to Tobago, and I've always had this really big story in my head, an epic story about the origins of everything, and the universe and everything, and how it all went down. And I'm a huge ancient history buff.
Right.
Huge all my life. Since I can remember, I'm into the ancient world. Anything BCE and back, nothing AD.
Yeah.
And I had this idea, and all of a sudden the idea to merge that with Tobago and Trinidad's folklore just fell into place.
Yes.
Right? And that's why it has to be a series, because you're teased. You don't really know what's going on, but you're teased in the first book. So I kind of incorporated the ideas of the folklore creatures into this big story, because it's actually a Trinidad and Tobago folklore fantasy. It may have the creatures that we know by names, but they're not going to be the way we remember them, because we know them because it's a retelling, right? A whole new invention, right? The creatures are actually not bad in this novel, right? They're actually, yeah. So
they're not scary.
Yeah. So and what pushed it was being a tour guide. Every so often, when I pass by that big silk cotton tree in Runnymede, Moriah there, I would tell the story of that tree and tell the story of Gang Sarah and the other tree in Golden Lane. And people were saying, I have this big idea to use all these creatures in a story. And the foreigners are like, write it. And I'm like, I don't have time. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So I was left with a choice now. How do I write a novel that's local, but it can be in all dialect and local speak, because people foreign wants to read it as well. So I came up with this way to write it in proper English with Trinidad slang, but in a way it makes sense to the book, right? Like, so it's, you can understand why it's written the way
I like that you mentioned COVID, because COVID had some silver linings. Right?
Yes.
COVID had some blessings even in the midst of the chaos.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And one of those things was the time to write, because a lot of people were so busy going. Right? COVID really slowed us down. But before we get any further, you know how we do it at Brunch, and you know how Book Club Corner does it.
Of course.
We have to have our wine. And we got some very interesting wine, let me tell you. So this wine is from Irie Roots. Marlene, thank you so much. And she sent this. This is fever grass or lemongrass wine.
So there's a nutrition factor as well. All right.
And I love that, because I love my wines, right? This is 16%. And let me tell you, Marlene girl, this was airing. I let it air for a little bit while David was chatting, right? And I'm smelling it all now. We do the 5 S's of wine tasting, and we're going to do them now. I'm so excited to taste this wine, because this was a wine for COVID, right? And Marlene said this is why she came out with this wine, this fever grass, lemongrass wine, because of the health benefits that are attached to this product. So Marlene, thank you very much. We're going to let everybody know how amazing it is. And the 5 S's of wine tasting is where we see the wine. So we look at the clarity.
Number 1.
And you see this golden color? It's just beautiful. And then we swirl the wine. We're looking for the legs, for that sugar content. Right?
There we go. Right.
And then we sniff the wine. It has a very unique smell, very much. And then we sip and we savor.
Cheers. Okay, that's good. I have to admit. That is good.
I have to take a second sip, guys. David, cheers to you.
Cheers, Jewel.
Cheers.
Thank you for having me here.
Marlene, this is amazing. I love the smell of it. it's really different. The flavors, lemongrass, wine. Let me tell you, Christmas is coming up. So you know all the local winemakers who have sponsored us wines on Book Club Corner. Get your wines for Christmas. Stock up. Don't forget, also get your books. Wine and books, they go together, right? We're going to be talking to David Rajpalsing about his book,
Oh, I don't want to put this down.
David, you're my kind of guy. We're going to be talking about the Chronicles of Kairi. And before we go anywhere else, you know, as authors, the first thing that pops into our mind, Chronicles of Kairi. Why he picked that name? What's that? Tell us. What is that?
So you see how you said the word Irie just now?
Yes.
So nobody knows for sure because we don't have enough records to determine exactly, but the consensus is, right, that Kairi is the First Nations or the first people's name for Trinidad, right?
Correct.
So they call Kairi, they call Trinidad Kairi before Columbus. That's what they call it when he came and he changed everything. And the belief is Kairi is translated to land of the hummingbird, which was important to the First Nations people as well.
Yes.
So the Chronicles of Kairi is kind of a double meaning because it's there to let you know it's about Trinidad and Tobago, but it's also something else in this novel why it's the word Kairi.
Right.
Right? And you have to read it to find that out, right? So I'm using known facts, legends, incidents, and I'm kind of incorporating it into this story with my own take on it. Why this happened, why that happened. This incident that we know was this, well, here's a real reason because it's so intertwined with everything because the major character in this book is Trinidad and Tobago. And primarily Tobago's main rich forests, which is the home of the creatures in this story, and the Pitch Lake. Those are the two main locations, but it's all over. It's all over the islands. I've done research all over Tobago. I've gone into the mountains looking for stuff, found it. Done the same thing in Trinidad. Finished doing my research for Volume 2, which I'm writing. I like to go to the locations that are going to be in here and actually visualize it, take pictures, take photos. So when I'm writing, it's as real as I can make it.
This sounds like a graphic novel coming up, guys. I am so, I'm so
it's
interested.
Fantastic.
Listen, adults like pictures too. I'm just going to throw that out. We like photos too. We like pictures. We love graphics, right? And his book is going to have some serious graphics in it about the characters. And as you can see here to the bottom, the character development in terms of bringing out those characters, not just in your imagination, but visually, right?
And
to give people that visual impact.
And if you look at these characters, so Alison Maiku, who is the art teacher for Naprima Girls High School, is the illustrator here.
Oh, really?
And she's amazing because she kind of takes my descriptions and she puts it down and she creates it. And we went back and forth and then voila, right?
Yes.
So there are characters in here that are not of our folklore, but they're part of the bigger story. And it's amazing how she, like her Gang Sarah there, the Laja Bless, Papa Boy, you know, it's all how I wanted it to look, and she captured it amazingly.
That's one of the things I love about being an author, the ability to use our creative license, people.
Yeah.
And add to stories. I mean, you can take literally any character you want and add to it, you know, embellish it because it's fiction. It's your story. You can make it your own. And I love that you did that. Listen, the imagination is a really deep ocean. Sometimes an author, I fall into my imagination sometimes. It takes me days to get out, right? Because this story just keeps pulling you in and pulling you. You're hearing the story in your head. Is that how it happens for you, David?
Yeah.
Your imagination creates this world that you then put on paper for us to read.
Yeah, and in this story, which will span maybe close to 2,200 pages at the end, because the Volume 2 and Volume 3 are actually big books again, which I know is not a popular thing, but this is how it has to be for this series.
Yes.
I have it all laid out, and the ending is fantastic, so I just want to get there, but we don't have COVID anymore, so it's taken a little long. Because you have to get back to work, right?
Yes.
So, you know.
Unfortunately, authors aren't able, especially in the Caribbean. Let me just put a plug out for that. Authors aren't able to be full-time authors all the time in the Caribbean because of how, you know, it's just set up that way. But we're making some changes to it, right? I'm a book marketer and I help authors try to monetize their books and their book products, try to make sure that they market their books well so that they can become full-time authors if they so choose. So they don't have to say, oh, COVID is finished. Well, I could never finish my book. No.
Exactly.
Right? There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Right? So we want in the Caribbean for it to become the norm.
Exactly.
Where
that would be
authors
amazing.
and creative people can do this full-time. It's not a side hustle. It's not a side gig. It's not something they do when they have time. It's something they do all day, every day.
Exactly.
As creators, let me tell you, that is the best life ever, just to stay there.
And if you gave me 20 years of just being on a computer and writing, I would have stories for that. I have so many. I have a children's book that has to come out too. There's just so many things to do. It's just my line of work is kind of chaotic and it's really busy these days. So it's just to get a handle on that. You know, it'll happen. It'll happen, yeah.
Well, coming out of Tobago Carnival, I could imagine how busy you have been for the Carnival season. Wow. Anyway, we're going to take a break. We're coming back. We're going to, David and I are going to be sipping on some of this lemongrass wine while we're taking the break. So check us out. Stay with us. We're going to have a few ads. We're going to pay the bills and come back, right? And we're going to talk to David. He's going to be reading to us from this book. So if you want to hear some actual chapters, some actual pages being read from this book, come back and we're going to be giving you some trivia answers later. So see you in a few minutes.
See you in a few.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McAl Group.
You know, who would I ever believe, Jessica could take care of a child, I know, right? I'm a kinship foster parent to my nephew Malik. Papa, you remind me of my grandmother, you know, when she used to take care of my cousins. If I didn't step in, I don't know where he would have ended up. Plus, I get support from Children's Authority, training, and counseling. But Jessica, you're not married? That doesn't matter once you have a safe home and you're related to the child. You're good. So they just gave money to do this? Yeah, they do give me some money. So Auntie, you can buy all my games for me? Oh, I'm so sorry, Malik, but that money's to take care of you. Okay, smubble up, yes.
I will not try. Mommy, you can buy.
No.
Wait, I didn't even finish my sentence.
About Lamborghini, you can get lamb stew for lunch.
Auntie Jessica could only come when you come in, because all them does do is talk people business.
Malakay, I'm only going on the bed.
But mommy, the boy don't even live here.
Yeah, go to your bunkers.
What? Bunkers? Where's that?
I think I'm getting pretty good at this.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
guys, and we're here with David Rajpal Singh talking about his book, The Chronicles of Kairi. And if you missed his introduction about the book, Kairi is the Amerindian name for Trinidad and Tobago, Island of the Hummingbird. And we're getting into his book because you know we love to be read to, we love to drink some wine on Book Club Corner, we really love to just chill out on Book Club Corner. So tell me, before we get into this piece of literature, right? Because the page you picked to read, 147, how many pages in this book, David?
520 or something like that.
Yeah. Listen, David does all sorts of fantastic things in this book. So he literally has a glossary to the back where he tells you about each character and what they are about and what they represent, right? But before we get into this book, I want to ask you this question. Is this self-published? And what has been your experience with publishing this book? Do you feel this is an experience you would like to repeat, or there could have been an easier way for you to go and get your book published? Tell us about that journey.
I think if we had publishing houses strictly for writers looking to express their art and themselves, not necessarily tied in with school curriculums, because that's what most publishers here tie in, it would be great, it would be refreshing, so more people can have their voices heard and express themselves, because not everything is curriculum worthy or curriculum sensible, right? Because people would write graphic, like with killing and like not for teenagers,
right?
So, and not to say that that's the genre, but they can write books with might have some swearing, some whatever, and they should be given a chance.
I love a good psycho killer book. Let's just put it
right. They should be given a chance. So, but everything here is so washed clean that everything has to be for the publishers here to do. It has to be like that because it looks into curriculum. Like this book has no sex, it has no cussing, no swearing, it has no bad violence.
Right.
But so it's considered young adult. Now I don't consider this book young adult.
Yes.
I consider this book adult because of the themes, and there's some heavy reading in here. So I think if we, as the Caribbean, as Trinidad and Tobago, if we could have a couple publishing houses that want to publish locally and push it locally and push it in the foreign bookstores as well, like Barnes and Noble's chapters, it'd be great, but that doesn't exist. Most of the bookstores are intertwined with the publishing, and it's all about.
Let me put it out there. I hear what you're saying, and I believe because I've done some research as well, right? And I believe that there are a few of them here that would, that would fall in line with what you're saying.
Okay.
But yes, I do understand what you're saying in terms of being able to get into that publishing space easily and seamlessly, right? No matter what you wrote, right? No matter what genre, no matter what you're putting in the book, whether it's squeaky clean, right? Or a little bit grimy and dirty like we like it.
Yes.
Right?
and this itself was, this was very personal to me.
Yes.
So I'm a lover, I collect books. I have hundreds of hardcover books, rare books, expensive books. So I like the feel of this. So I wanted it this way, and it had to be a big book. And I know those two things are not popular, but I did it anyway.
They're not popular, but let me tell you, the bibliophiles out there, y'all know. I got your number, bibliophiles.
Exactly.
I have your number. I know what you like, because it's what I like, right? We love books, real books. We love
Holding
this.
it.
When we get the book, yes.
Smelling it.
David took the book right to his face. That's exactly what we like. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of smells like dog.
Not the glue smell. We're not sniffing. This is the new book smell, right?
The new book smell.
You get that plastic off. Like when you get a new car, you get into that new car and you take the plastic off the seat and you're like,
It's a ritual. It's a pleasure. Like having the wine and doing your 5 tests. It's not like just picking up a wine and drinking it from the bottle, right? You have to go through these processes.
Exactly. You have to savor it. You have to savor each piece of it. And it is getting the book, touching it. I love covers. You know, some of them have this velvety feel. Some of them have this nice, smooth plastic feel that you have here.
And it just makes the experience that much richer.
Yes, because your book, we could just wipe this cover off clean. Anything, you know, if we were eating and reading, you could just take a little and clean it off really quickly. But before we go any further, because, you know, when we start to talk books in Book Club Corner, oh my God, is there any end? No. That's the answer. No. So let's get into page 147. David is going to read to us. Let me get my wine. Let me get myself comfortable. David, take it away.
Okay, so I chose this part because it's a quick synopsis of things to come, right? So you may not even get some of this in this volume. You'll get it in the other volumes, right?
Okay.
So 147, Trinidad and Tobago. In other parts of the world, dawn breaks with a casual nod and a subtle whisper, a courteous exchange of positions. Like two old and time-worn souls, the curator of night hands the keys over to his day shift counterpart as they part ways. But in Tobago's main rich forest, this trade is heralded by Mother Nature's orchestra in a wondrous commingling of living things that echoes in the wind as it waltzes through the canopies, trails, and low-lying brush. Bamboo creaks against bamboo, leaves stir like trickling rainfall, animals crawl and scamper about, as over 200 species of spirited birds sing songs of freedom and joy in praise of the coming light. This new day, though, brings more than just the circadian rhythms of the tropics. Independent occurrences have begun throughout Trinidad and Tobago that would seem unrelated to one another at first glance, but to the enlightened were omens of unpredictable and likely dire times ahead. On this morning, a man dressed all in black enters the forest via the Fox Pigeon Peak Trail, accessed off the main road that connects the north and south coasts of Tobago. He is not on a pleasure walk or hike. His purpose holds a much deeper meaning. Securing his firearm and holster, he hides them well under his black shirt. Walking for 20 minutes, he departs the established trail and makes his way onto the much deeper forest, untraversed by others. Elsewhere, a teenage boy awakes on a secluded beach. Dazed and disoriented, he does not know his name or how he came to be lying on the grainy sand at the edge of the breaking waves with the light of the new sun warming his face and burning his eyes. He's wearing green swim trunks and a white sleeveless shirt only, nothing on his feet. He has no memory of anything, but he's not afraid. Not sure what island he is on, whether it be Trinidad or Tobago, he knows at least that it is one of them. He splashes seawater onto his face and inhales a breath of fresh, briny air. Go south. Those words flash through his mind. He gets up and starts walking. On Bird of Paradise Island, also known as Little Tobago, a loud bang followed by a strange animalistic scream resounds through the trees, scaring a flock of white-tipped doves off the branches as they take flight into the air haphazardly. Haphazardly. I can never say that word. It's crazy. Haphazardly.
It's one of those words, right?
Haphazardly. I got it. Right.
Yeah.
Docked at the jetty, a fisherman who had been dozing on his boat awakes suddenly and stumbles off his chair. Heart racing, he picks himself up and dashes to the back of the boat to seek out the reason for the shrill and frightening sound. He gasps and makes the sign of the cross as dread courses through his veins like electricity in a wire. Standing, momentarily stunned, some kind of creature, dressed only in shorts, gazes back towards the boat. About 6 feet tall, lean and sinewy, with short blonde hair, it incites a sense of panic in the fisherman as it stares at him with curious regard. What is freaking him out is the fact that the creature has 6 arms and is completely silver in color. Every inch of it gleams like polished metal in the rays of the new sun, as if it were made of pure light. Hurriedly, as if afraid, the creature looks away, reaches down and picks up something a couple of feet long with 2 arms. It turns back to the fisherman, eyes flaring an intense orange hue, then bolts onto the jetty and dives into the water, fleeing the scene into the deeper ocean as fast as a shark chasing its prey. Finally, in Piaco on a plane bound for St. Vincent, overcome by a sudden and desperate urge to go somewhere else, a man stands up and hails to the flight attendant. As passengers are still boarding, he retrieves his bag from the overhead compartment he'd placed there only a minute or 2 ago and hurriedly weaves through the slow-moving bodies. Given recent occurrences, it amazes him how easily and painlessly he was able to move. He meets the flight attendant who was making her way to him and explains that he must disembark immediately because his wife was just involved in a serious car accident. With great concern and willingness to help, she clears a path for him and he exits the plane. There is no accident. The man, who is also a pilot, had devised the best lie he could think of to get him off the plane without incident. With his important business trip to Kingstown now a fading memory, he moves with a new purpose. He has no idea where he's being called or what the talisman is, but he knows what direction he must go in. After paying for parking and departing the general airport vicinity, he makes his way onto the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway and begins his journey. Right? So it's a lot of story, right? And a big.
This show, they're lucky is only till a particular time we get to go. Because I had to sit down here. Poor wifey would have been saying, David, but we got to go because I was lying. You had to read this whole book, right? It's that captivating. You want to hear more and hear more and hear more, right? You all need to get this book, Chronicles of Kairi, David Rajpal Singh. He has another volume coming up soon, and he just read to us. David, tell me, what's happening in these stories? Because I was following you as you were reading.
Right.
But it seemed that it was several people we were reading about.
Right. So because it's page 147, a lot has happened already. So the guy in the airport, who I said is also a pilot, he already appears in the beginning part of the book, but you don't know that. He's a character who was damaged in the forest by a animal, and Papa Boy saved him. Something happened that night, and now he has a calling. The young boy on the beach is also in the beginning of the book, as well as the creature is a new creature that's coming in for this whole showdown that's going to take place. And it's intertwined where, because I know the entire story, I know the ending of volume 3, I can play and do little tricks. I like my entertainment. I love complicated, complex movies. I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan. I love The Matrix. I love stories where you don't really know what's going on, but when you do find out, it's like, oh, wow, right? So I kind of tease. I put little things that you wouldn't hear about for 500 pages.
Yes.
But when you come back to it, you'll be like, wait a second, he mentioned that, that's my kind of story.
Listen, I was watching this movie the other day.
Yeah.
They're not sponsoring us, but I was watching this movie the other day, Den of Thieves.
Right.
Listen, I did not see that ending coming. That's the kind of movies you want to be like, wait, what?
Yes.
Go back. What?
Yeah.
That's what you want,
I
right?
like that kind of stuff, and that's the books I love. I remember giving my dad one of my favorite books ever to read, because I know I was waiting for a reaction. And one day when I saw he was on page 245, right? I'm sitting there waiting, right? And he's reading it, and he's like, what? What the hell? And he just got up and started walking around because the twist came, and I was waiting for him, and I was like, I got him, And it was a book called Lightning by Dean Koontz.
Your dad sounds like that book sounds like a book we had in our book club, but your dad sounds like he needs to join the Tobago book club.
Oh gosh, when he moves back, because he's dying to come to Tobago all the time.
Listen, tell him come, and when he gets here, let him join the Tobago book club, because listen, that reaction is exactly what happens in book club. When we read a book and you come and you're like, wait, I read this book, I didn't see that coming, and I'm pissed off. What the hell?
And then you go back and you see it was all the signs there. But you don't want my dad in book club because he'll only want to read James Bond, Ian Fleming.
I love James Bond. I just finished reading one called Silverfish.
Right. Oh, that, yeah.
The early one. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, in honor of my dad.
We're not going to go down that road.
In honor of my dad, Ian Fleming appears in volume 2.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. We digress. The excitement, the wine. Let me tell you, today is especially... Listen, just special. Authors out there, if you've written a book, published a book, you have a book you'd like to come talk about, Book Club Corner, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, you can contact us and come and tell us about your book, right? That's what we're here for, providing a platform for all authors, published authors of books. If you write scripts and movie scripts, contact us as well, because they're so intertwined, right? Y'all get this book. We read from page 147 on purpose, right?
Yeah.
We wanted to tease you about the facts that are in the book that, we just wanted to jump into the middle and let you catch up. So get this book. It's Chronicles of Kairi. Where can they get this book of yours, David?
It's in almost every major bookstore in Trinidad, like RIK, Mohammed's, Ishmael Khan, all that. It's in some of the smaller, beautiful independent bookstores like Scribbles and Quills and these places. And it's also in all the bookstores in Tobago. right? Nelson's, educators, you know. And I also, if you live in Tobago, I also have home as well, right?
And this is in Bacalat. You're in Bacalat.
Yes, right. And one thing you said, and I got sidetracked, Irie, right? You said from Irie. People have claimed or think that Irie, or believe, is a offshoot of Kyrie. Irie came from the word.
Really? Because, listen, the Jamaicans just claim Irie.
Yeah.
Everything is Irie, man.
Yeah. They certainly use it more than us.
Yeah, but that's our thing, right? I love that. Listen, you need to know your heritage, you need to know your background and your history. And we had the Northern Regional SDA Primary School come and talk about their upcoming event, which was called Ethnic Callaloo. Just now.
I love that name.
And talking about how the different backgrounds all come to make this callaloo, and callaloo is one of my favorite dishes, right? So I was, that's happening on Sunday, and not to sidetrack from David's book, but this is just, there's so much interconnection and interconnectivity and synergies that happen every day.
And that's what I want to tell you. Being a tour guide in Tobago and writing a book that showcases Tobago and Trinidad, I have seen things. We are amazingly, we live in an amazing island, right? It's gorgeous. There's so much to see. And I get joy bringing this to the young generation, telling them about the Moruga Pitch Lake, telling them about the pool of asylum in Chaguan, in Charlottesville.
Wait,
and
you said Moruga Pitch Lake?
Yeah.
There's a Pitch Lake also in Moruga. There's Labrie and Moruga.
Yep.
Well.
Right, so I want to, being a tour guide, discover these places and also give it to the new generation, because most people, most of the kids don't know. They don't know that the main ridge forest is the oldest proclaimed and protected rainforest in the Western Hemisphere.
I know.
They don't know we have more birds than anybody else in the world on an island.
The oldest protected rainforest in the Northern Hemisphere, guys.
Yeah, Western.
The Western Hemisphere. That is something that we can claim.
Right.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Right, we can claim having the most bird species of any island.
Yes,
right?
And there's a hummingbird that only exists in
white-tailed saberwing.
Yes, and you can find it in parts of Venezuela as well.
Yeah, in the northern parts. I've been a couple
sightings. Only in Tobago you find this particular hummingbird. Tobago is so amazing.
So like when you said everything is intertwined, we can celebrate everything because it's all connected.
Yes.
Right, and then I love the young people I read to in the schools, they learn this and they're like, I didn't know that, I want to see this, I want to experience that. And they themselves are writers and visual artists and graphic designers, and it's let them breathe, let them do this, because the talent out there is amazing.
Listen,
and
guys.
a little bit of encouragement would be great for them to say, you could continue writing and this will get published. Because I've read some stuff. Kids have given me what they've written and I was like, I didn't write like this. Right? This is amazing. 14-year-olds, it's amazing. Yeah.
Listen, people, let's encourage it. This orange economy is something fantastic.
Yeah.
It is something that is revenue driven. It's not, this haphazard thing out there.
You said it perfectly.
It's real, right? You're right. It's real, it's grounded, it brings revenue. It's something your children and the next generation can hold on to as a real career, right? When I was growing up, I told my mom, I want to be an author, and there was crickets, silence.
Yeah.
If you heard nothing from her, that means she was not interested, right? She said nothing. She just listened, and I said, okay, well, maybe I need to find something else to do, right? Because maybe that's not so smart. But I'm just putting it out there. Authorship and being a full-time author is an excellent career for your children, for the next generation. The orange economy is really coming into its own. Don't discourage your children from their arts and craft and their creativity. Let it come out. Let it come out. And we're wrapping up right now. Thank you so much, David. And we close off with a cheers. Thank you, Irie Wines. And this lemongrass, fever grass, let me tell you, there's a vibe, people. There's a vibe. Get it. We're going on break. Get it. And we have trivia coming up. Get this wine. And it also is going to boost your immune system. So cheers to you. See you in a few minutes.
Cheers.
Oh, the trivia. Oh, gosh, we're having such a good time. The trivia Tobago question. Can we have it, please? The name of the first man to swim from Tobago to Trinidad. And I know some of this information personally. When I give you the answer, right, you're gonna shake in your socks, right? The name of the first man who swam from Tobago to Trinidad, and we're coming up with the answer in a few minutes.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Standard, and today we're launching High. It's our newest brand that Standard is launching, and it's where luxury meets affordability. We're very proud of this brand. It's taken some time to get the right collection in place, and we're also going to continue to improve on our collection as time goes by and we listen to our customers more. We've changed our suppliers for this collection to European suppliers, so you're going to get that European finish. We've been very pleased by some of the results that we've been seeing in terms and response to it in the market, and we're so glad to bring it to Tobago and show Tobago what Standard could, grow with them as well.
It's not just about looking good or having materials that are easily cleaned or sustainable materials, because the important thing about this particular collection is that it is quality. It is meant to last, and it lives up to the Standard name about never beating on quality and price. This furniture particularly, especially our outdoor line, which ranges from fiberglass, plastic types of outdoor stools, outdoor chairs, even the outdoor furniture, it is built to last.
That's the importance with High, right? It's not only looking good, it's going to feature things that make your life easier, and it's not too damaging on the pocket. That's important for us.
This furniture fits the lifestyle of Tobago, of the Tobago customer, of the Tobago guest. It is the perfect type of furniture for you.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
And good day. Welcome back to Brunch on a Wednesday. We're in beautiful Scarborough, Tobago. I can't tell you how lovely it is to be here. And thank you for tuning in and for staying with us for the entire time. We had some amazing guests, but our last guest today is going to be Dr. Rhoda Reddock. And she is the director of the, let me tell you, the Developing Art and Design Awareness. That's DADA. And they're looking to transform our derelict and unused community spaces. You know, as you walk around in a community, sometimes you see an area with big bush, you see, you know, a derelict house, an unused space, and they're wanting to transform these spaces from that current status and situation into something that's productive, usable, inspirational, right? Using art and design. And we're going to be speaking to her virtually today about those things. Hi, Dr. Reddock. Hi.
Hi, good day. Great to be on your program and wish I was in Tobago in person.
We wish you were here as well. Tobago, we're having some lovely weather. How is the weather in Trinidad?
Well, there was a little rain this morning, but the sun is out and it's not too hot yet.
Okay, yes, that's exactly what is happening in Tobago. We're getting some nice, cool, overcast weather, you know, really helpful because I tell you, the sun is different. It's really different.
Yes, definitely.
So tell us about this program that y'all are doing, this event, right? And it's called Social Art and Design, right? And y'all are going to be having some public spaces. You're talking about public spaces and community spaces being transformed. Tell us about that and explain to us why that is why you all found it was something important that you all should do.
Sorry. Yes, well, I just wanted to say that our organization has been in existence for many years. And as you will understand, that subject area is not one where there's been a lot of public discussion or debate. Yet all of us, as we walk around, you know, we are a very creative society. A lot of our creativity, for example, in the carnival, is on the human body. And actually, our symposium will be addressing that as well. But we wanted to look at the way in which art can move outside of the gallery and become part of our everyday life, our everyday spaces. And you were mentioning the situation of occupations for writers, artists also. You know, this can also diversify the opportunities for artists to intervene into our social and community spaces. And we believe that this is important, not only because we want it to look aesthetically beautiful, but also because it's good for our well-being, it's therapeutic.
What you're saying is true. It is important for our well-being and for our mental status. And as a community, you know, some people are able to exist in some chaotic spaces, and it's only when they see order and function happening, they realize how important it is to them personally, how much better they are functioning as an individual. And that's what we want to make sure people understand, that these spaces are not being transformed just for the hell of it, right? You all aren't going through all of this work just because you feel to do it. It really has some basic scientific grounding in how we function as human beings, being able to be in good functional spaces. So when they are walking around in their community and experiencing their community, they, the place is well organized. There's function and functionality in the community and the spaces that we create, even the community centers, right? And we want to look at that. And your program is really bringing that to light and using art. Not just saying build good spaces, but using art. Yeah?
Yes, because what we also want to do is we want to involve communities in designing spaces. So often, the design for the space comes from above, it's imposed. Sometimes what is imposed is not usable. What is imposed might be designed by not local artists or local art designers, but imported designs. How do we incorporate our indigenous creativity into these designs? How do we make these spaces our own? In other words, many parts of the world are beginning to look just like each other. I think Tobago still has a lot of that indigenous beauty, its landscapes, etc. So we would like to enhance that. We would like also to enhance a consciousness among contractors, technocrats, agencies like the Tobago House of Assembly, the local authorities and borough councils in Trinidad and Tobago, even the ministries of works, all of these people who have to construct. How are communities involved in the design of things that are constructed? For example, are our spaces fit for persons with disabilities? Do we have public spaces where the elderly can go out, probably with children? All our public spaces, football fields. In other words, how do we enhance not only the environment within our homes, but in our societies and communities?
Dr. Raddock, you hit on some very important points. And what I heard is that each community has a unique way of expressing themselves and of being. And you all want to encapsulate that. You all want to, make sure that that is kept. We don't want to whitewash it by making all spaces look and feel the same. But we want to make sure the communities, Caribbean communities, right, even the local communities and villages keep that, that distinctive space and what is distinctive to them, right? And I love that because, we have a lot of personal history and heritage that's unique to communities and the Caribbean space. And I also heard you say two important things. I heard you say two words of great importance to me: disabled and seniors. We don't pay attention enough to them. Tell me what your spaces and what this project you all are doing may be addressing that issue of the disabled, making sure that these spaces are encouraging for them to come out and to use, right? And they're not just functional, but they're fun as well for disabled and seniors. Could you speak on that for me in terms of those two areas?
Yes, well, as part of the symposium, we'll be discussing the art design proposals of Dean Allen, an artist, and Sean Leonard, an architect, and using that as a jumping off point for a larger discussion on public space and art in public spaces. And one of their big designs was for a play space in the Tacarigua Savannah. And in building that, in the design of that space, they looked at how, for example, the needs of the elderly and the needs of children could be brought together in that space. For example, of grandparents taking out grandchildren, how that play space could afford connectivity for both generations. It looked at, for example, in the use of the design of the play items, that disabled children could use those play items as well, that the toilets that are developed would be useful for children and children, adults, the elderly with disabilities, but also to do it in a way that builds on the indigenous creativity of the community. So it's a design that involves all of this. For example, that Tobago design also included replanting the area with indigenous species, which is not something we often think of. But we have a lot of imported species, and sometimes imported species affect, for example, the water table and other aspects of the landscape. So that we wanted to so that brings in environmental sustainability. We were also trying to create the spaces also along a highway. We wanted to put a green fence that could help to remove some of the pollutants coming from the roadside into the play space that we plan to construct. So, in other words, it's a kind of multifaceted way in which art could be integrated into community sustainability, community play and entertainment, as well as community well-being and being therapeutic as well.
I really love that. And I'll tell you what I really love from what you said. It was the idea that using these open spaces close to roadways and transportation areas, you will come into contact with pollutants. And how do we mitigate for that, right? You know, running along the course that's close to a roadway, you're going to get some kind of smoke and smog coming from cars, right? And how do you mitigate against smelling and having to ingest that, right, while you're exercising? And I love that you all thought of that in terms of, you know, what can we put in place to make sure there's some kind of filter, right? We keep the air quality high.
And these could be designed, you know, they could have landscape architecture. So it's not just functional, it's functional and beautiful as well. And I think this is one. So there's another aspect of the work we do. We also want to work with young people using art as therapy, you know, using art as a way of, and craft, because I think we have neglected craft development for many decades. You know, there were indigenous crafts that some of our ancestors brought. There were crafts that the indigenous people had that were passed on. So there are all these indigenous crafts that most of them have died. Some we can find and recreate, but also maybe refining our whole sense of craft, you know, to be something that is once more valued, that we would buy, not in that we would incorporate into our furniture, into our building design, into our hospital design, you know. Artists and artwork can go beyond the wall in your living room. They can be part of hospitals, they can be part of schools, they can be part of so many spaces. So it's to break our limited understanding of art and open up vistas for people who are artists. You know, you spoke about the limitations of persons who are writers, but visual artists also. You know, how do we expand this beyond just selling somebody a painting to put up in their house, which is very important, and many visual artists depend on that. But bringing art more part and parcel of our everyday life, enriching it and contributing to our well-being.
I love that. I mean, I keep saying I love that, but I do. I love everything you're saying, because what I'm hearing from you is, how do we allow people to utilize, keep in the space the heritage that we have, right? And the way we design things, basketry and basket weaving that the Amerindians used to squeeze the cassava and take out that liquid that they would ferment, right? Using the dirt oven, what you call architecture, mixing that dirt with the grass, making the dirt oven walls. Those are things that that kind of design for that oven was really a convection oven. And that's something you can do at your homes. We have a lot of air conditions around, and it's because we're not using our local knowledge of how materials in the tropics can mitigate heat, right? And keep things cool longer, and, you know, keep things warm when we need them to be warm. And that's what we're not doing. And I'm hearing that that's what you're saying.
Yes, because we're also looking at what they call materiality. what materials do you use? And concrete is not the best material for us. And what you point out there, that adobe, or what we used to call tapia, there are countries that build all their modern houses out of that material, that you said, that keeps warmth in when and cool when necessary. And that was our traditional, and we got rid of it and we brought concrete, which means now we have to have air conditioners. And now the concrete doesn't breathe, so we have more allergies and all of that. But as you say, we have designers. Those indigenous technologies that we don't value can be redesigned, you know, can for contemporary use. And I think it's also having faith in our ability, our creativity. And so if you have to get a new building, we don't have to look and see what Architectural Digest has to say. That our architects and artists can look at what we have to say, what we need, and how our ancestors had thought about these things.
Yes. This is such an important symposium. I don't want you to leave without giving us the details, the when, the where, the who, and the what. So tell us about that.
Yes, thank you very much. So it takes place at the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago in Port of Spain from the 16th to the 18th. And I know some Tobagonians have been invited. But everyone, it's open to everyone. Unfortunately, it's not being live streamed, but we plan to produce a composite video after. So the official opening takes place on Thursday evening from 6 p.m. And we have a distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. Bonaventure So Bijeng Ndikang, who is a German Cameroonian and currently the director of the House of World Cultures in Berlin. He has already arrived and he'll be speaking at the opening on Thursday evening, and he'll also be giving a lecture at the University of the West Indies Department of Creative and Festival Arts on Saturday evening at 5:30 p.m. That's the 18th. So we hope that the Tobagonians we have invited will be attending. I can say that Dr. Charleston Thomas has agreed to be on one session where we look at festivals and carnival as art in public spaces, because a lot of that art is on our bodies, but we want it to be more. First of all, we want to go back to where we are creating it and not buying it from China. But also, we want to see that in other aspects of our lives as well. Plus, we have issues to deal with that as well. So
thank you so much.
Everyone is welcome. Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Raddock, for that. This is an important symposium, and hopefully we can even do some partnerships where we have that same type of symposium in Tobago with our Tobago. There's the Tobago Historical Society, as well as we have Dr. Rita Pemberton. She's a renowned historian, published author and writer, and she really knows, the history of some of these, as you call it, indigenous architecture and what, So partnerships we love. So I would love if that could be something we do here at some point.
And Tobago also has artists and creative persons, architects, and just general members of the public like me, who would like to see things differently.
Yes, we love it. Snaps for that.
Sure.
I found this
so we
such
look
an
forward to that collaboration in the future. I know Dr. Pemberton very well, and she's actually invited. I hope she is attending. Yes.
I hope she can. I know she's in recovery. As they say in Trinidad and Tobago, nobody give me no message, right? But I hope she is, able to come, because I know she's in recovery. So that would be something fantastic for her to be involved in. Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Raddock.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And guys, we have with us so many interesting guests from Trinidad, from Tobago, writers, authors, dietitians, nutritionists, all sorts of fantastic things. But we don't want to forget that trivia question. So we don't have any right answers. Nobody guessed who it was because probably nobody went to the Googler and typed it in. Name of the first man who swam from Tobago to Trinidad, right? And somebody asked me, they thought they had the right answer. It's Mr. Duke. No, it's not Mr. Duke. I'm so sorry. We have, the right answer is Raymond Lacroix. He was the first person to swim between Tobago and Trinidad. And he was also on the team of the second person who was swimming from Tobago to Trinidad, Johnny Prokop. And Mr. Lacroix was the first person to attempt it. And I don't think he actually got to Trinidad because of the weather conditions and the sea conditions, but he got far, right? And I think we should be in the Guinness Book of Records, both Mr. Lacroix and Johnny Prokop. Just throwing it out there, Guinness, if you're listening and watching the show, come check our people out, please, and put them in that Guinness Book of Record because they're doing some great things. We want to thank you for tuning in with us today. It was Brunch, a special edition of Brunch because Janelle isn't here with you today. We want to thank you for welcoming me into your homes. I know Janelle, Miss J Soul is the one who is here doing it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and she'll be back with us soon. But until then, keep tuning in, keep publishing your books, keep writing your books, keep contacting each other, checking on each other, being good to each other. We're a community of love, diverse ethnicities, creeds, races, of all kinds and beliefs. Love each other, take care of each other, be good to each other, and we'll be back with you on Friday, when we have another edition of Brunch.